Welcome back to Ashili Sports for sure. Soccer prediction, football prediction, Premier League prediction, La Liga, name it all. The weekend is drawing near, and what we do, we give you your favorite winning teams for you to go into the market and make it happen. Ima, man must eat. Very, 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 very important. Jack, Jack, Jack. So, Ima, weekend is coming near. Premier League fixtures. How excited are you with these fixtures? And what do you think? Do we have the tips that are actually volatile for investors to go into the market?
Yeah, it's another great weekend of football, and we have some big matches coming up in the Premier League and other um competitions. So I'm just looking forward to see the exciting football from the teams, and just to entertain us during the weekend and to make our weekend good.
Yeah, for sure. And let's kick on. If you just join us and you are new, hey, remember, bet responsible, even if you are under 18 years. And this video is for entertainment purpose for sure. Hit the subscription button if you just join us and you are new. Like and share the video. And hey, so that the investors will enjoy the weekend and everyone must say something. Man must eat coming on Saturday, which is Leeds United hosting Tottenham Hotspurs. Tottenham Hotspurs, we all know right now their inconsistency have started too early this time round. Do you think Leeds have started the league perfectly? Because as a championship coming on into the Premier League, I didn't expect such performance. But at home, they always make sure they get a 3 points or 2 points. What do you make up of that game? Should Tottenham go there?
Yeah, I think Tottenham Hotspur going to play against Leeds United this season. I've not got the opportunity to watch Leeds United very well, but I've watched quite a couple of games from Tottenham Hotspur. I think they started very well, but along the line, they've switched back to the Tottenham. We all know that every season they will start, very good form. Then later on, you don't know what happened. Then they would start switching things up. So yeah, for me, looking at their Champions League game against Bodo Glimt this Wednesday, I think to be on the safer side, I'm going for either half win for Tottenham Hotspur, either half win. It's either they'll win the first half or the second half. I don't see them winning the whole game. Maybe it might be a draw, or yeah, or maybe they'll just pick a slim win ahead of Leeds United. So either half win for Tottenham Hotspur.
Either half win for Tottenham Hotspurs for sure. So whether Tottenham win first half or second half. So it's an opportunity for fellow investors to go in and make it happen. But London Derby is coming your way for sure. And the Gunners will be hosting West Ham United in the Emirates Sports Stadium. As Arsenal this season, I think they have been quite okay. Only one slip in the at Anfield against Liverpool. But then they tried to come back in second position. And last game was also just dramatical win for Arsenal. Do you think this one no hard feelings? It's about the fellow investors. As Arsenal fan, do you think Arsenal can go in fully for West Ham as they had Nuno Desperito as their coach, and this is going to be his first match against the Gunners?
Yeah, sometimes when the coaches are being hired, in their first game, they want to create an impression to the fans that they can do the job. So I'm looking forward to see Nuno Espirito Santos boys put up a fight at the Emirates Stadium. But at the end of the day, Arsenal is going to win the game. If I'm to be bold, if you are to go for a correct score, you can predict 3-0 win for Arsenal. Anytime goal scorer, yeah, 3-0 win at the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal. I don't see Arsenal conceding in this game. So if you are bold enough, you can either go in for a 3-0 or even more goals for Arsenal in this game against West Ham United. Anytime goal scorer, I see Victor Gyökeres scoring this weekend at the Emirates Stadium. Anytime goal scorer, you can put Victor Gyökeres' name on the score sheet, and I think he might be on the score sheet on Saturday.
Okay, so let's see Victor Gyökeres' name getting in on the score sheet for Arsenal. Let's see how this is gonna play out because it's a tough game and London Derby. No matter your form, you need to show up, and you fail to show up, then it's something else. Manchester United once again in Old Trafford. This time round, They are actually hosting the newcomers, Sunderland, who have surprised me this season. And for sure, the conundrum in Manchester United currently doesn't warrant them to go in fully against Sunderland in Old Trafford. But then the owners, the board have said that even if lost against Sunderland, Ruben Amorim's job is still at stake. But do you think the the Red Devils are ready to win against Sunderland?
Yeah, Manchester United, it's very difficult to predict their game because they have Manchester United that shows up against Chelsea. You know, the kind of performance they put up against Chelsea. So going into Brentford game, I thought maybe it was going to be either a win or a draw for Manchester United. But we also saw last weekend they went there and they lost by 3 goals to 1, which was a shambolic performance from the team. It is difficult, even though they are playing at the Old Trafford. But if I'm being honest, I would like to skip this game because I don't know the Manchester United team that will turn up against Sunderland. It's whether it's the Manchester United team that turned up against Chelsea or the team that turned up against Brentford last weekend. So to be cautious, to be very careful with your slips, I think you also avoid that game for your own sake.
You
Yeah.
have to avoid that game for your own sake. It is a tipster and also is unexpected speaking, not emotions. Manchester United fans, sorry, we cannot give you that prediction you needed. But Sunderland, I don't know. Let's wait for the end of that game. Whether it's that United that will show up, that showed up against Chelsea, is still the United that's going to show up against Sunderland, or is the United that show up against Brentford will be showing up against us? We don't know. So let's move on for sure. For sure, last game of Saturday is going to be super clash in the Premier League for sure. And no other team is Chelsea visiting Liverpool in Anfield once again. Chelsea have not been actually the best team we thought they could be in the Premier League for sure. Do you think they can get something out of the table leaders, Liverpool? Because
Yeah, for
and
me
it's
as an
not lost in the Champions League against Galatasaray, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's lost two in a row. He lost against Crystal Palace during the weekend, and he went into the Champions League, and he lost against Galatasaray. I feel like Liverpool have not been convincing. The last time I was talking about it, that they've not been convincing with their games. It's either they get a late goal to win the games, they put up a fight, and maybe later on, late minute in the game, they'll just get a penalty, and they'll get the 3 points. Chelsea, too, on the other hand, have not been much convincing. After their first game, after the game against West Ham, I thought maybe, yeah, after the Club World Cup, yeah, bringing that same form into the Premier League. But looking at how things have turned out, they lost at home against Brighton and Hove Albion last weekend, 3-1, and they've got a red card. It has been like happening about 3 matches in a row now. They've been getting the red card. So yeah, I think they have to work on that aspect. You can't be getting red cards in games. Definitely, the numerical advantage will not be on your side, and you are going to lose the game. So if they are to play against a team, a well-experienced team like Liverpool, they have to work on that, incident like the red cards and the yellow cards to allow them play their normal game. Because if you get a yellow card, it limits you to going for certain tackles. It's an open game for me, and I feel like either of the teams can win. But looking at Liverpool's experience going into Stamford Bridge, which is their own backyard of Chelsea, I see them to get to either get a draw or a win in this game. So I'm going for a double chance for Liverpool in this game. But mind you, Chelsea can also pull up a surprise, and we've seen them do it multiple times.
Okay, so a double chance for Liverpool, but Chelsea can also pull up a surprise on that game for sure. And hey, let's move on and let's move on. Fellow investors, Aston Villa have not been convincing in the Premier League, but they host Burnley. I think this time round, the newcomers, those teams that have qualified from Championship to Premier League this season have been absolutely good.
Yeah, they've been
Aston
they've
Villa,
been they've been amazing so far with the games we've played. We've seen Sunderland's performance. They are doing quite a very good job with their team. And, we've seen Burnley, though they have had their ups and downs, but they are playing quite well. Leeds United, on the other hand, are also giving us a very good performance. So yeah, I think the league is still open. We've not played so many matches, so it's still open. Any of the teams can win, and any of the teams can also go into the relegation zone. And I see them to put up a fight this season with the other teams.
So Aston Villa, Burnley. Aston Villa this season is not going quite well. So who do you think will probably win this game, or how is the odds gonna be like?
It's one tough match, but I'll go in for a double chance for Aston Villa. They are playing at home, so I'll go in for a double chance for Aston Villa. Yeah, a double chance.
A double chance is a fair odds for the investors because whatever be the case, they can turn out at any point in time. So Aston Villa with the better odds here. Let's move on. Everton has been absolutely amazing, but the only team standing in the Premier League playing unbeaten, Crystal Palace, will be visiting Everton. David Moyes' team take the advantage to win this game against, or to be the first team to win against Crystal Palace in the Premier League.
I don't see Everton breaking that record. I think it will still continue this weekend, and I don't see Crystal Palace losing that game. I'm going in for double chance for Crystal Palace. Anytime goal scorer, mind you, Jean-Philippe Mateta might be on the score sheet for Crystal Palace. Anytime goal scorer, Jean-Philippe Mateta on the score sheet for Crystal Palace. I don't see Everton ending that streak right now. Maybe it will take one of those big teams to end it for Crystal Palace, but Everton is not that team that can end that record.
Everton is not that team that can break that record, but let's see how it's gonna stand out. In now, the new stadium is still Goodison Park.
I think it's Lee something. I've forgotten the name. They have a different name for.
Yeah,
It's not Goodison
okay.
Park anymore.
So let's see. So now the Goodison Park is the Everton ladies women team that are actually using it now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I remember. Yeah. On Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest, it's like Postecoglou, Ange Postecoglou already threatened once again with this kind of unable to pick up points against other teams since joining Nottingham Forest. Do you think it's too early for them? And Newcastle United actually picking up from the scratch in the Premier League Leeds. What do you make up of this fixture?
For me, I don't think they should have sacked, Nuno Espirito Santo. Hey, that decision was, was not a good decision in my opinion. They should have allowed him to, continue doing the show. But some of these politics, sometimes when it comes to play, they find ways that they will use to sack you. So yeah, Ange Postecoglou coming from Tottenham Hotspur has not been convincing with this Nottingham Forest system. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. Looking at Newcastle United, I feel like there are a bit of loopholes in their team, but playing at home at their own stadium, I feel like Newcastle might win this game.
Newcastle might win this game. Let's see how it's play out for sure at the next at the next Premier League game on Sunday. Wolves, Brighton. Wolves clearly this season have not been the Wolves we know since Konya left the club to Manchester United.
Yeah, we shouldn't waste much time on this game. It's a straight win for Brighton and Hove. Wolves, I think they have to set up. They have to do certain changes in their team, else they will go to relegation this season. I don't see them stay in the Premier League this season with the performance that they are, putting up with, in the recent games we've watched. So I'm going in for a straight win. Though it's a bold decision, but I'm going for a straight win for Brighton and Hove Albion.
Last game of the Premier League this weekend is going to Brentford, Manchester City in the Brentford Community Sports Stadium. Do you think they could do it the way they did it to Manchester United?
Another tricky game. Brentford, they are very stubborn at home. Very, very, very stubborn. Well, we've tasted defeat at their stadium before. That was last 2 seasons when we were playing our early game against them, which was Arsenal against Brentford. They scored us 2-0. I think last 2 or 3 seasons, yeah. We saw them against Manchester United last weekend, and they are playing at home against Manchester City. That is not in the form of their lifetime that we used to know of Manchester City. So some of the time when you're predicting such games, it's that difficult. Why, like, to be safe on this one, you can just go anytime goal scorer, Erling Haaland. That is a sure bet. Yeah.
Haaland is a sure bet for sure.
For that one, yeah, to stop that guy. So anytime goal scorer, maybe they might also score and City will get a slim win over them. But anytime goal scorer is a sure bet. Erling Haaland might be on the score sheet.
Be in the score sheet for sure. And just moving on to a few matches of La Liga. for sure. We'll just get the big games, and then Real Madrid will be facing Villarreal.
Madrid playing at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu, and
Then about yeah,
Villarreal too have been, good this season. We've seen them play very good football this season, but the White Angels can't afford to drop points in two continuous games. Last week, and we saw them against Atlético Madrid. They dropped points. So I don't see them dropping points against Villarreal. Mind you, they have another big clash in this month against FC Barcelona. So they'll see to it to put themselves in a position that will help them, even if they meet Barcelona. The gap won't be that big. Yeah. So I think Madrid is gonna win this game. Anytime goes
and
for as usual. Kylian Mbappé routine might be on the score sheet too for Real
Mbappé is
Madrid.
on form. He's on
Kylian
form.
Mbappé
And
will score.
Sevilla will be hosting Barcelona. Barcelona, Sevilla.
Both teams to score.
Both teams to score. You don't think Barcelona could win that game easily?
For me, I don't know, but I feel like both teams to score is quite okay.
Yeah, especially the loss in the Champions League might affect the team a little bit.
Absolutely, that's what I'm talking about. They've also been winning games that's not convincing. It's either they concede first and they come back to equalize and take the lead, or they'll just get a slim 1-0 win. Their wins have not been that convincing. So maybe going to away game against Sevilla, I feel like both teams to score is a perfect prediction for this game.
And Celta Vigo will be hosting Atlético Madrid, who had a wonderful performance against Real Madrid in the last La Liga games.
I think Diego Simeone's boys are back on the track, and I see them to win this game against Celta Vigo. After the Madrid game, we can see there's a new revival in the team, and they are playing quite some very good football. You saw them in the Champions League, and they gave a very good performance. I think against Eintracht Frankfurt, they really played well. Talk about the players like Antoine Griezmann. I think they are back in form. Julian Alvarez too is still available. So yeah, I see them winning this game against Celta Vigo.
Okay. So, guys, this is it for sure. We are going to end it here, and probably next week we'll be giving you more details into the games as well. And it's just let me know your opinions for sure. If you just joining in and you are new, whilst we will be, Ima will be preparing his best five for us to actually move on in that direction. So, but then remember, this is for entertainment purpose, and hey, bet responsible, even if you are above 18 years. So, guys, let me know your own predictions in the comment section for sure. Let me know whether your sleep will pop up or will do best for sure, because this is Ashili Sports, and what we do, we give you that excitement. When weekend comes, you just need that excitement to move on, and this is how we give you on our own way for sure. Emma, your best five of the
I think this best five, I'm going for all straight wins.
okay, no problem.
I'm boosting all your odds. You might stick it,
Or
but
not.
I feel like this is the best odds that you get on the market. Number one, Arsenal playing at home against West Ham United. That is the first on the list. You're going for a straight win for Arsenal. That is one. I'm going for 5 straight wins. You go to the La Liga, you pick Real Madrid win against Villarreal. That is the second one. The number three, when you go to Italy, Inter Milan are playing against Cremonese. Inter Milan straight win, they are playing at home. Then I'll add these two games to it. Bayern Munich playing against Eintracht Frankfurt. Bayern Munich win. That is number 4. And the fifth one, let me give it to Napoli.
Napoli.
Yeah, Napoli playing against Genoa. Napoli. I'm going for a straight win for Napoli. So yeah, 5. So Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, and Napoli. I wish everyone the best of luck, and we'll come back and talk about the wins in our next video.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk about the wins in our next video for sure. And if you just join us and you are new, remember it's Ashili Sports. And hey, man must eat for sure. This is absolutely where you can never get for sure. This is the best 5 you can never get anywhere in the market. And if you just join us, hit the subscription button, like and share the video, and we are gonna see you in the next video. Ciao.
Yeah.
Okay.